It's wrong to put someone in a mental institution against their will if they didn't commit a crime. There are already laws on the books where the cops should have arrested the shooter for assault and probably shooting at animals for target practice and putting guns to others' head, if he did so. I disliked the video. A mental institution isn't a good place. Instead, his behavioral problems should have been dealt with by trying to talk to him, convince him not to commit murder or abuse, try to help him get better things to do like an efficient education to learn how to do a job he wants, help him get a job he wants, good hobbies, friends, try to make the world a better place. It's his reason to live, and prison isn't a good place to live. Those labeled mentally ill are less likely to commit crime. They are more likely to be a victim of crime. Even if they were more likely to commit crime, that does not justify banning them from guns. Certain races are more likely to commit crime. 1 in 6 Americans are labeled mentally ill, presumably face to face, because not everyone goes to a psychiatrist. Everyone or almost everyone is mentally ill according to DSM-5 and almost all psychiatrists. It's very easy to involuntarily commit someone. If you don't believe me, look into actual recent cases, talk to people who are involuntarily committed. A suicide attempt isn't needed, simply throwing up or having a cold might result in it, or they could just lie so they can get paid for treating someone and the judge can say lies and words are evidence. Maybe it's supposed to be difficult by law, but in actuality it's easy. Maybe government does not follow the law. Posting pictures of guns isn't an improper display of a firearm, but pointing it at an innocent person is. So many people say they are going to kill others and make verbal threats that are often not serious. If Gov acted on everyone, it would be a lot of resources spent. Jimmy Fallon would probably have armed guards with him as he walks, making him a hypocrite. Kids in general seem as smart as adults when it comes to certain things. Kids and adults seem to be about as moral as each other. Kids might not know how to do certain jobs or drive if not taught. Don't be ageist. Even if kids were dumber on average, it's wrong to treat them different based on age. If they would let everyone have one free tax-free acre of fertile land to grow a food forest on and live on, and provide a small house including electric and water, maybe rainwater collection, well water, solar, wind and geothermal, and car, all for under $30,000 per person, that would be cheaper long-term than paying rent for those labeled mentally ill and the poor for the rest of their lives. A lot of the money spent on mental health treatment is against the individual's will and is ineffective at improving the individual's condition and often makes things worse, but rather the drug companies, psychiatrists, social workers, and maybe sometimes those who get paid to house them, lie to line their pockets. Many labeled mentally ill are normal poor people who have difficulty finding a job, transportation, and housing. Many of the homeless are not homeless because they are mentally ill. Trump is dumb. The current background checks are unfair. Don't just go off what you're told. Go talk to the homeless, to those labeled mentally ill, those who were committed, to the mental institutions to see how peaceful and polite many of them are. Go find out the truth for yourself, find out their stories for why they are in that situation. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is pretty accurate in general, maybe not that bad in every institution. If you don't believe me, set up undercover surveillance. By your statistics, it seems someone is quite a bit less likely to be a victim of a crime committed by someone mentally ill than they are someone who isn't. So banning guns from the non-mentally ill would make more sense. A lot of the mentally ill are bodily and mentally able to work but don't because they don't want to lose their benefits, or might not be able to find a job that pays enough. Efficient job training programs should be available to kids and those who can't afford it, so they become things like doctors. It's wrong to put someone in a mental institution against their will if they didn't commit a